Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Mandy, and here on this show, every week we interview some awesome people from around the country to bring you lifestyle tips, tricks, and more. And this week we have this.
Things like hosting a dance party in the kitchen with some music or setting up an obstacle course, things like that always work really well.
All that and more on New Mexico Rising.
Cold and flu season is here again with some new viruses going around. Keeping ourselves healthy can feel like a full-time job. So joining us with some smart reminders and simple ways to stay on top of our wellness is Dr. Yael Varnado, better known as Dr. V. She's a physician at Johns Hopkins Hospital and a familiar face from the Today Show, CNN, and our show right here in New Mexico Rising. Welcome to the show, Dr. V. How are you?
I am wonderful, Dan. Thank you for having me. It's great to see you.
Okay, so what is one of your top reminders for patients when it comes to staying healthy, this time of year?
Prevention. We're seeing people come into Hopkins sick, and whether it's because you're run down or not enough exercise or just stressed out, we're really leaning into people needing to know it's time to take care of yourself. Let's find some ways to stay healthy as we go into the fall and winter season. So I'm excited to share some tips with you today.
All right, so where's a good place for people to start as they get ready for flu season?
Start by stocking up your medicine cabinet. The flu is here, and so having a flu medicine like Boiron's Oscillococcinum, or Oscillo for short, on hand can really shorten the duration of sick days for the whole family. Now, while Oscillococcinum cannot prevent the flu, it does allow you to fight those symptoms before they get out of hand. And clinical studies show that when taken at the onset, Oscillo reduces the duration and severity of flu-like symptoms such as fever, chills, and those awful body aches. And unlike other flu medicines, Oscillo is non-drowsy. It won't interact with other medications. So it's really perfect for home and on the go, and it's widely available.
I woke up this morning and it was cold. It was like the first time for that. In your opinion,
I know.
What's the best way to stay healthy during these colder months?
Well, we tell people to keep moving and exercise, and folks are saying, well, it's cold outside. Well, let's bring the exercise in. And that's why I love Planet Fitness, because they have more than 2,700 locations. They are my go-to gym. And they make it easy to stay active during the fall and winter months with their best-in-class strength and cardio equipment, their non-intimidating environment for all fitness levels. And I remind my patients, remember, exercise boosts energy, it reduces stress, it improves your sleep. And so with a high-value, low-price Planet Fitness membership, anyone can get consistent exercise. I also love the PF Black Card membership. It lets you bring a guest every day, and it provides access to the Black Card spa, massage chairs, and more.
I got my Black Card, and I like to bring a friend with me sometimes, so
There you go.
I like that thing. Are there any other recommendations you'd like to share with patients around this time of year?
I do. I remind my patients, okay, Halloween's coming, holidays are coming, tons of time to eat comfort foods, but let's remember and lean into putting healthy things inside our body. So high nutrient dense foods, things like warming foods, soups, citrus, squash, root vegetables. It's really amazing how much energy and balance you can get by just eating in season and staying hydrated.
And do you have any additional doctor-approved tips that can help us boost our wellness routines?
Well, the most important thing we can do at the end of the day is sleep. And so if you can get some good quality sleep on a consistent basis, you're going to give your body a chance to regenerate, to renew, to heal itself. And that's really important as we get through these darker months because there's less light out. And so you're giving your body permission to recharge. You can really feel ready when spring rolls around. And
for anyone who wants to learn more or get your advice, where can they go for more information?
Dan, check out tipsontv.com for all the things we talked about today.
Dr. V, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me, and you have a wonderful day.
Shopping for healthcare may not sound very exciting, but what if we're as easy as buying your favorite things online? With healthcare costs going up, UnitedHealthcare has launched a digital platform designed to help families find, compare, and save on wellness programs. So joining us today is Amy Jordan, Vice President of Consumer Experience at UnitedHealthcare, to explain how the new UHC Store works. Welcome to the show, Amy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. The idea of online shopping for healthcare, it's pretty new for most people. What exactly is UHC Store, and how does that actually work?
Yeah, it's definitely a newer concept, right? And so for us, we're really focused on bringing forward digital tools to help members kind of navigate this increasingly complex space. And the UnitedHealthcare Store is one of those tools. It is a direct-to-consumer marketplace for UnitedHealthcare members to really give them the option of purchasing at a discount specific products and services through partner vendors to really help augment in that health and wellness space and bring forward additional benefit options for them that maybe aren't traditionally covered as part of their healthcare plan, but are really there to meet them in that moment that matters and create a more personalized approach to healthcare.
So what kind of programs or services can families really expect over there?
Yeah, so at launch, we're really starting in that health and wellness space across kind of 4 key areas. So there's kind of that everyday family living. So think maternity, think women's health, that sort of thing. And then we also have stuff in the nutrition and fitness space as well. As we all know, people are in that constant flow of trying to make those lifestyle changes, improve their health. And we've got a couple of great vendors that we've partnered with there. And then finally, in that chronic condition management space, we're really focused on trying to bring forward digital solutions to help many of our members who are managing 1 or 2 chronic conditions with easy to use support to really kind of help augment some of those unique opportunities that come through when you have a chronic condition and you're needing to manage that a little bit more closely.
So how are digital tools like this helping make healthcare a little easier and maybe accessible and more affordable?
Yeah, so I think member experience is a really key part of what we're trying to do as we think about how we can improve the healthcare experience. And for us, it starts with digital tools. And so we have the UnitedHealthcare app and myuhc.com, and members are able to log in there and really get the support they need. We have tools like our Smart Choice provider search experience, which is arming members with information around quality physicians, effectiveness, and overall cost components of the care that they might receive with those providers or at specific facilities. They're actually able to estimate that cost ahead of time as well, so they can plan accordingly or plan better for some of those financial impacts that we often see with healthcare. And then we also have things like the UnitedHealthcare Store, because we know things pop up mid-year. And what's great about the UnitedHealthcare Store is it's not necessarily something you need to choose at the beginning of the plan year. You can purchase it at any time throughout the year. It's built into your benefit offering at UnitedHealthcare. And then as those things come up, you can make that personal healthcare decision and choose something that really fits your life or fits what's going on within your life or your family's life to really make it beneficial for you.
And for anyone who wants to explore it themselves, where can they go for more information?
Yeah, if you are a UnitedHealthcare member, you can go to myuhc.com or the UHC app, and the UnitedHealthcare Store is right there when you log in. Otherwise, if you're not a UnitedHealthcare member yet, you can go to uhc.com and you can find all the information you need about all of the benefit offerings that we have.
Amy Jordan, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Fall is here, routines are back in full swing, and it's the perfect time to reset a few habits, especially when it comes to keeping your family healthy and feeling good. So joining me today is Mia Sin, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and author with some simple ways to boost energy, stay focused, and make the most out of the season. Welcome to the show, Mia. How are you, my friend?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. It's great to be back.
Okay, the school year's rolling along. How can parents help their kids feel a little more prepared and focused pretty much in the classroom?
Yes, well, this time of year, parents are really focusing in on their kiddos' immune health, their brain health, overall wellness, and Smarty Pants vitamins is a great way to support growing kids' bodies both in and outside the classroom. The Kids Multi and Omegas includes a focused blend of 6 research-backed nutrients: iodine, riboflavin, biotin, and vitamins B6, B12, and C to support children's brain health. And overall, it has 16 daily nutrients designed to help fill in common nutrient gaps and support kids' growth and development. Plus, it's backed by research and kids love the taste. You can find that on Amazon.
And the school year's been rolling along. How can parents help their kids feel a little more prepared and focused in the classroom?
Yes, well, about 65% of kids K through 12 are driven to and from school. And that doesn't even account for all the time that parents spend in the car driving to and from extracurricular activities. So I don't want to forget about the busy parents. I'm one myself, and I recommend having a great protein bar on hand. I love Linear Bar because it delivers 20 grams of high quality protein that's organic, 12 grams of dietary fiber, and is free from seed oils and artificial special ingredients. It has sort of this candy bar-like texture with the perfect combination of real dark chocolate, a layer of caramel, and a chewy nougat center. Just a great grab and go option after a workout or between school pickups, or really for anyone looking for a clean, delicious protein bar. You can find it at linearbar.com, on Amazon, and at Air One.
And while we're still in the note of showing parents love, how can adults take care of their own health and wellness as they keep getting older?
Yes, we hear it all the time. Aging is a gift and a natural part of life. And so it's so important that we do our part to help maintain our health. Now, NAD, resveratrol, and quercetin are three of the most talked about ingredients when it comes to healthy aging supplements. And that's why I love this supplement, Reserbage NAD Resveratrol Plus. It features all three. This combination supports energy, heart and brain health, and provides cellular protection, DNA repair, and immune support. Just perfect for anyone who wants to feel their best through fall and winter and beyond. You can find it exclusively at the Vitamin Shop and vitaminshop.com, the leading destination for lifelong wellness solutions.
Now, part of staying well is making sure our homes are healthy too. How can families cut down their indoor allergens while we start spending more time inside?
Yes, well, most homes have common indoor allergens, dust, and bacteria. And believe it or not, studies suggest that couches and carpets can be dirtier than a toilet. Now, that's why I recommend Stanley Steamer cleaning services. They go beyond surface level clean so we can breathe easier and feel healthier in our homes with those cozy nights in and the holiday season just around the corner. Now is really the perfect time for a deep carpet and upholstery cleaning, especially in spaces where our families spend the most time. And you can find more at stanleysteamer.com.
I got cats. I need to call them. I've been putting that
Yes.
off. You just reminded me this needs to be done. Thank you for that. Okay, before we let go, where can families learn more, get additional tips from you, Mia?
For more, you can head to nutritionbymia.com.
Mia Sin, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Medicare enrollment is underway, and it can feel confusing trying to pick the right plan. The good news, there are experts ready to help make it easier. Joining us is Dr. Benjamin Kornitzer, Chief Medical Officer at Aetna, which is a part of CVS Health. He's here to share what everyone should know before signing up. Welcome, Dr. Kornitzer.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, can you explain what Medicare Advantage is and who's eligible for it?
Sure. So Medicare Advantage is a health insurance product for those eligible for Medicare. But it's got some unique features and is really designed specially for seniors. So think about things like capped out-of-pocket spending. Most plans include prescription drugs. And then, for example, with Aetna in 2026, all of our plans include dental, vision, and hearing benefits, all things that we really know are important to seniors.
And if someone is looking at plans, what are the main questions they should be asking before deciding?
Sure. So does it fit in their budget? Are there providers, so hospitals, physicians, pharmacists covered? Are the medications they're taking covered? Do they have special needs like diabetes, or are they also on Medicaid? And then finally, what's important to them in terms of other benefits? So access to fitness centers, spending cards that can help with healthy food or over-the-counter items.
And how does Medicare Advantage support someone's overall health and not just their medical care?
Yeah, so thinking about this holistically, everything from preventive care, so think about annual physicals, screenings for breast, colon cancer, eye exams, so all of those without any copays. Things like medication, so because of the prescription drug plans, those are often included. And then finally, active lifestyle. So think about everything from yoga to silver sneakers access to fitness centers to programs to enhance their memory.
And if someone already has Medicare Advantage plan, what should they look for in their annual notice of change this year?
Yeah, so what's changed in terms of the benefits, the premiums, the deductibles? Understand, are there physicians participating? Any changes with medications? This is the perfect time to figure out if it's the right plan or should they look for other options.
And what kinds of options are available for people who have ongoing health issues like diabetes?
Yeah, so one of the great options is our SNP, so chronic condition special needs programs. So no copays for primary care, many specialist visits, over-the-counter spending, and then also help with medications that would really be used to manage those chronic conditions.
And before we wrap up, where can people go to get more information?
Yeah, so start with Medicare.gov, enter your zip code. You can call their numbers, also reach out to local brokers or advisors. And we'd love for you to also visit Aetna's website, so aetnamedicare.com, or call our 800 number.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Kornitzer.
Thank you for having me.
As weather cools down, kids spend more time inside, often lounging around and watching their screens. Pediatricians say that all that inactivity is a growing health concern. But there is an easy fix: active play. Joining us is Dr. Emily Greenwald, pediatrician and chief pediatric advisor for NextPlayground, with tips to help families get their kids moving again. Welcome, Dr. Greenwald.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why are doctors warning about kids spending so much time sitting still or on their screens?
Yeah, so it's not really just about the screen. It's about all of those missed moments that stillness on a screen create. Missing activity, missing connection, missing play. And so as pediatricians, we really are becoming increasingly concerned. Only 1 out of every 4 school-age kids actually meet the requirement for 60 minutes a day of activity. And so as a mom and a pediatrician, we really want to work on this so kids can meet their optimal development. And so we've got to partner as pediatricians with parents to figure out how to be really purposeful in this modern world with tons of technology.
And what is active play, and why is it so important for children, for children's growth and development?
Yeah. So active play, the easiest way to think of it is anything where you're moving and you're having fun and smiling and huffing and puffing a bit, right? But your brain and your body are connected. Very different than when you might be on a tablet and your body really is not connected with your brain or moving. And so with active play, that's when the development happens. That's when the brain is connected and all those neurons and nerves are connecting, and you're developing strength, you're developing coordination, you're learning your emotional regulation. And all of this translates to, better performance at school, easier time getting along with your siblings at home. And so, we go so far as even prescribing 60 minutes of active play a day for this optimal childhood wellness.
And during the colder months when outdoor time is limited, how can parents help their kids stay active indoors?
Yeah, so that's the real challenge, right? Is when it starts to get dark out or it's cold or rainy, you can't just send your kids out front into the front yard. And the other sort of available activities for being truly active are less. And so figuring out what can you do to bring that togetherness and that movement inside. And so things like hosting a dance party in the kitchen with some music or setting up an obstacle course, things like that always work really well. But for my family, we needed a different option for screen time because it was really stealing away all of that active play. And that's why I serve as the NextPlayground Chief Pediatric Advisor, because they've developed an active play system that actually allows me and my kids to get up in our living room and start interacting and playing with a system that actually senses our total body movement. And we can play games like Kung Fu Panda, Bluey, score shots on a goal with, National Hockey League. And it's really a ton of fun. I've always been a little bit shy about trying something like Zumba in a dance class, but lately I've been taking Zumba dance classes with my 10-year-old daughter, and I think she's more talented at it than I am, but I have a ton of fun. And so thinking of what are all of the ways that families can figure out how to bring that active play indoors. And NextPlayground is one of those really good options.
Well, these are really good ideas, but where can families go to find more ideas and resources to help their kids stay more active?
Yeah. So as pediatricians and then as a mom, I always like to research, what I'm getting my family into. And so please go to nextplayground.com where you can read a ton about the new active play system and see whether it'd be a right fit for your family. It definitely has been for mine and has transformed our screen time. And then, promoting active play indoors. I am the active play doc, and we are starting a podcast, Active Play Every Day, to partner with families so that we can explore what are all the options that exist and how can we help kids reach that 60 minutes every day. And so that's 60everyday.com to find out and join. And we'll be launching that podcast just after the new year, and you can sign up to be notified. And please join along.
Awesome. And Dr. Greenwald, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
There's a skin condition that can be painful, frustrating, and often misunderstood. It's called hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS. It can take years to diagnose, and it impacts both body and confidence. Today, we're joined by dermatologist Dr. Lana Schmidt and TV personality Frank Grimsley, who's sharing his personal story living with HS. Welcome, you two.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Frank, can you tell us about your journey with HS and how long it took before you got an actual diagnosis, and what advice you would give to others who are living with HS or think they might have it?
You know, what a journey, and thank you for the question. I really just started noticing my first symptoms when I was 16 years old, and I never knew what it was. I never talked about it with anybody because I wasn't confident about it, and it wasn't something that I wanted to put at the forefront of many conversations. And to think about my journey, where I started and where I am today, to be partnering with Novartis to share what's going on, bringing awareness to this. It's just truly amazing how much things have changed in my journey. So that's why I always tell people it truly has been a journey, but we're on the brighter side of it, and I'm grateful for that.
And what encouraged you to finally reach out and get treatment?
You know what? I actually reached out once I got to college. I wanted to take control of this thing. I went to a doctor, and they made me feel like a science experiment. They knew nothing about what was going on, and I told myself I would never go back to the doctor again, and that it was just something I would have to deal with. It wasn't until I went to a dermatology appointment, and I had a great relationship with the dermatologist at the time, and we were just talking, and I felt compelled to bring it up, and I brought it up, and she was like, "Oh, that's hidradenitis suppurativa. There's actually treatments for that." And I was just mind blown, and I haven't looked back from that day to this one.
And do you have any advice for people who are living with HS or think they might have it?
I definitely would say if you think you are living with HS and you're noticing reoccurring bumps, you definitely should talk to somebody. I think a lot of times we're scared to have the hard conversations, and there's so much on the other side of that hard conversation. So definitely seek out treatment, talk to your dermatologist or your medical provider. And if you think that you're dealing with HS or living with HS and you just want to get a little bit more information, head over to Cosentyx.com. There are patient testimonials over there. There's just so much about HS on the site, and I just encourage anybody to go over there if you have any questions as well.
And Dr. Schmidt, what exactly is hidradenitis suppurativa and how is it diagnosed?
So HS is a chronic inflammatory skin condition. So patients get these recurrent painful boils and bumps, and it's often in areas of friction. So like under the armpits and the groin area, under the breast. It usually starts at puberty or even in the adult years, and it can take up to 10 years to get a diagnosis. So fortunately nowadays we have treatments for it. They're called biologic treatments. One of the treatments is Cosentyx, and I tell my patients on Cosentyx, just like any medication, there are certain side effects we watch for. Things like allergic reactions, serious infections, including tuberculosis, flares of rashes that can look like eczema. And the most common things that we see are things like diarrhea, colds, or upper respiratory infections. So like Frank said, partnering with your dermatologist, going to Cosentyx.com is what we're here for today, to get the word out and get patients on a treatment plan.
And can you tell us, are there other treatment options available, or is that kind of the gold standard?
So there are currently 3 FDA-approved treatments for HS, and Cosentyx is one of them, but there are a couple others out there as well, but they're all biologics.
And what symptoms should people look for, and who's most affected by this condition?
So the symptoms are a recurrent bump or boil. So if it comes back and it's painful, and then sometimes they start to weep, ooze, or scar, especially if they're in areas of friction, it may be this condition called HS. Both men and women get it. And often it starts either during puberty or after puberty, but then it continues. It's a chronic condition.
And if someone is struggling with HS symptoms, what kind of support should they look for, and where can they go for more information?
Frank, do you want to take that?
Sure. Listen, if you are struggling, I definitely say talk to your doctor. Talk to somebody. Talk to anybody that will really listen to you. Make sure you know what's going on within your body. And definitely head to Cosentyx.com. Cosentyx.com, like I said, is your go-to. There's a community of people that are here. You do not have to deal with this by yourself. I have dealt with this for many, many years in silence, in solitude. And I'm just so glad that in 2025, I get to have these type of conversations, and you don't have to do it alone anymore.
Thank you both for joining us today. I appreciate all the information.
Thank you for having us.
Menopause is a natural stage of life, but for many women, it can bring big changes, both physically and emotionally. The good news is that care and support for women going through this stage are improving. Joining us is Dr. Jessica Shepard, Chief Medical Officer at HERS, and a board-certified OBGYN to share what modern menopause care looks like today. Welcome, Dr. Shepard.
Thank you so much for having me.
Many women say they weren't really prepared for menopause. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, there's so many reasons. You had mentioned earlier that it's a natural course of what women go through, which is exactly that. But even in that, there's a lot of chaos that comes with understanding the symptoms. They're waxing and waning. They are here nor there. And I think that when we think of the healthcare system, it's rather outdated and impersonal, and women really do feel dismissed when they go to talk to their doctor often, especially when we talk about perimenopause and menopause. So there's a lot that changes and a lot that are going on with women at that same time. And so also there's a stigma attached in, there's something going on, but who do I really talk to?
What are some of the main symptoms women might notice, and how can they affect daily routines?
Yeah, daily routines are impacted because imagine going through your day and you're having a hot flash or a night sweat, or trying to sleep at night and you have sleep disturbances, or you're trying to remember anything throughout the day and you have brain fog. So these are all the things that impact us from a symptom, but then how it impacts our daily life is really where we want to make sure that women understand how valuable it is that they're able to function on a day-to-day basis.
And what are a few simple steps women can take to start feeling better through this transition?
Yeah, this transition, like I named those symptoms, have a lot to do with the hormonal shifts that are going on during this time frame, which can last anywhere from 3 years to 10 years. Average age of menopause is 52, but every day we should try to incorporate small little steps in our routine that's going to help, such as eating more protein, incorporating that for muscle mass, or doing resistance training and weight training, which is going to help with our bone mineral density because our bone starts to decrease as far as integrity and strength. And then also for hormones, we talked about this fluctuation of estrogen and progesterone. So hormone therapy really is one of the best ways to get benefit for overall health, but also alleviating symptoms.
How is HERS helping women manage menopause in a new way?
Yeah, HERS really is devoted and dedicated to things that women have that they need and that are situations in their life when we look at maybe hair loss or weight gain. And now with menopause and perimenopause, we're really impacting women where they need that support for hormone therapy as they go through this time frame, building specific plans for them and treatments, looking at estrogen and progesterone and tailoring kind of a hormone treatment that's going to help for them based on their health history and personal preferences.
And where can people go for more information or to find support?
Absolutely. They can go to forhers.com/menopause, or even easier, download the HERS app to learn more.
Dr. Shepard, thanks so much for joining us today.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in and checking out New Mexico Rising. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You take care, and we'll see you next week.